What up, everyone? We made it to episode 2.
Oh shit, dog.
Welcome,
What a long
everyone,
journey, bro.
to.
What a long journey.
And they said it couldn't be done, but look at us now. Haters gonna hate, right?
Haters gonna hate. Hey, when's the last time y'all saw the sun?
Fuck, I don't know. I feel like I'm living in Seattle right now and shit.
I've been breaking the rules.
Much. I've been breaking the rules and I've been going to the beach the last couple of days at sunset.
Oh man,
Just
you're such a rebel, bro. You're such a rebel. What is there to do outside? What is there to do outside when no one else is there?
Dude,
you know, it's shockingly, bro. It's crazy.
Welcome everyone to the second episode of Layman's Word. I said, ooh, almost fucked that up. That's a tradition. I gotta fuck up every intro, huh?
Technically, you did fuck it up, but that's all right. That's okay. It's all right. Moving on.
As always, with me, my co-host Angel. Say what up, Angel.
Buenas tardes, people. ¿Cómo estamos? I hope everybody's doing well during this whole COVID-19 situation. I hope everybody's staying home and staying safe. And for those of you that are not, y'all can suck a dick. It's your fault. We're still in this fucking mess. You sons of bitches need to stay home. That's all I gotta say to that.
All right. And our special flowery guest right here, we got Adrian, aka Kidneys.
Yay! Welcome.
So how you guys doing, man? I know we're like in day, I don't know what now.
I'd have to say for me personally, I'd probably say it's day. I'm like coasting around between 15 and 20. 15 and 20. I'm not quarantined on all days. I'm still going to work here and there, so I do get to leave the house. I also had an injury recently, so I have to go to physical therapy, which I just came back from today. But other than that, I think I'm doing pretty well. Little things like this where I get to see my friends. Hi. Little things like this where I get to see my friends. Just they make me happy. So thank you for doing this, and thank you for pushing us to get this going. Kid, how's life on your side of the tracks?
It's pretty good, man. As far as quarantine, I've been doing it for about, I want to say 15 days, but I've been taking it serious for about like 12. You know? The first 3-4 days, it was like, yeah, I'm in quarantine until I wanted to go somewhere. Then it was like, but then it's like, all right, let me just buy my groceries, stay indoors. I was working from home the first couple of days, and then that's it. Just waiting for my stimulus check.
Hey. Hell yeah, that's what's
I need more supply, you know? I need more supply.
Don't hold your breath, man.
That's right. That's right.
So it's crazy, man. I finished I finished that last episode of that documentary I was telling you on Netflix, and all of a sudden, fucking like an old school arcade food that just said first place, and I entered 3 initials and shit. I just beat the game.
You're stupid. You beat Netflix. Damn, bro, you beat the boss.
You have now completed Netflix.
Damn, bro. What is there to move on to after that? Once you've seen it all.
Funny. I know people can't hear Chewy, but I saw a little like a tweet that said that we're about to enter the apocalypse because it's about to be a month since they offered the free month of premium, so people are about to lose their shit.
I wonder if they're gonna extend that, or if they're just gonna start taxing folk.
Hell yeah, they got them, bro. Whoever's gonna stay, they got them.
Got them addicted to all the premium stuff. Straight got them addicted to premium stuff, and now they'll be like, "Oh, never mind. Nah, you gotta pay for that, son. You gotta pay for that."
That all they needed was one money shot on 4K, and it was done.
Oh man.
appropriate.
Right.
Oh, God. Documentaries, and actually, one of the reasons we're not here is Coachella is going to release their documentary this weekend.
How exciting! What perfect timing, dude.
It's supposed to be the same time the festival is supposed to start, right? Like it's supposed to be released at the time that the festival is going to start, weekend 1.
Technically
right?
speaking, yeah, that's right. And I think that's this Friday coming up, which is Good Friday.
False.
Yeah.
It's usually Thursday's day 0.
Island Disco.
Well, yeah. Well, for those that show up on Thursdays, yeah. Shout out Hills Resort. Shout out Hills Resort gets my stamp of approval. Yeah. I will re-up at Shadow Hills anytime I end up going to Coachella again because that place was amazing. Staff was dope there. I loved it. Good times.
I missed it last year, man.
Nah, I'm pretty sure I saw you there one day. I'm pretty sure you showed up one day. I'm actually quite positive. I'm actually quite positive you ended up finagling your way in, as you do. You slithered your way through, as you do.
To Coachella, yes.
Yeah.
Not to the hills, not yet.
Oh, no. For sure. Yeah.
I was hoping it happened this year, man. I was ready to infiltrate at least one day this year, but gotta stay at home.
Yeah, bro, gotta stay home. Everybody gotta stay home.
So if you guys haven't, yeah, well, hold on real quick. So if you guys haven't figured out, this episode is going to be based on music festivals, not just Coachella. Obviously, we'll start on Coachella because it was supposed to be this week. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people are bummed out, but you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna make the most of it. We got our face mask here already. Spenny's got his candy necklace right there. But yeah, man. I mean, let's do the best we can to make the best of it. We're gonna have our own little music festival right here, right?
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. Let's go. Come on, let's do it. Let's get it.
So yeah, man. Obviously Coachella's this weekend, and we've all been there. What other festivals have you guys been to besides Coachella?
Personally, I like to say that I have been to the basic bitch package festivals. So I've gone to EDC, I've gone to Coachella, and one of my favorites to go to still in Vegas is Life is Beautiful. That's definitely one of my favorites. I've been to a bunch of other smaller ones, all thrown by Insomniac, but yeah, that's pretty much what rounds out the type of places that I've been to.
And I think for you, all of them have been multiple times, huh? Most of them.
Yeah, that's the thing is that I plan my year around them. I promised myself that moving forward, I was going to start going to different festivals. So I was looking at like Lightning in a Bottle, Dirty Bird to Camp Out. I wanted to try Electric Forest out in Illinois. And I mean, also Ultra, which there goes that.
I think Ultra, at least in Miami, Ultra is a super basic bitch, fucking selfie stick festival there is.
Well, fucking Angel's trying to complete his Infinity Stones, bro.
Right up my alley, bro. I'm trying to get my Infinity bitch gauntlet. And yeah, bro. Like I'm trying to get them stones, cuh. I'm trying to get them stones. You kidding me?
What's up, Spenny? Where you been?
I basically the same ones, but to mention a couple different ones that actually surprised me, I have to mention one that happened in Huntington Beach, right on the beach.
Whoa, and I forgot about that one.
Completely in the face, bro. The only reason I wanted to go was because when I saw the map, I think you and Aaron found it. When I saw the map, it was literally on the sand on the beach. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm in. And when I got there, we got there early, me and Aaron, because if you were born in September, the festival is in September, and you got in for free.
Oh, no way.
So
that's rad.
So Aaron Aaron being a September baby, he had to show up early to claim his ticket. Doors opened at 1. We showed up at noon. So we got to explore the whole grounds. And it was by far one of the best festivals I've been to for being just in general, not even just for being on the beach, but just overall the setup. There was a stage that you couldn't get to unless you got on a ride. You had to get on the ride, and then you got to exit to the stage. I thought that was dope as hell.
That's pretty cool.
And besides that, just a bunch of besides that, just a bunch of local festivals. But of course, the big ones, just like Angel mentioned, I did EDC actually the first time when it was the last time here in LA, and I was hooked. Something about it was just like, damn, like what the fuck is this? It was just a big party, and that actually made me go to 2011, the first one in Vegas, that just completely blew my mind. And because of 2011 more than 2010 because I do festivals now. That if I go down the lineup, I'm talking about Skrillex, I'm talking about Bloody Beirut, Benny Benassi, Swedish House Mafia. I mean, you had a lot of
heavy
people
hitters
in their prime before they were growing up, just raw shows. And that's
you got to catch them, at pretty decent stages too. Like, you got to get a pretty intimate show. Like, it wasn't exactly like this big old blowout now where it's like thousands of people deep and you can't really enjoy it. You could actually physically see the dudes doing their thing up there, which was pretty tight. And I got to agree that 2010, 2011 flip was definitely what pushed me into this life a little more. And I went all in. I went all in at that point because it was dope. Good times.
2010, it was the people. 2011, it was just the experience over. Everything came together. Because 2010, I didn't know the music. So it was just a party to me. But 2011, they were just so elite that you couldn't help but to dance when these foods were just playing. And that with the people that I went with, it just full circle.
So I'll actually say that in 2010, my experience wasn't as great in regards to the people that I went with. The people that I went with were kind of like not as adventurous.
Not the worst.
They wanted to stick to the main stage pretty much like the whole time, and all I wanted to do was look around. This was also anybody that knows about EDC 2010 knows that this is also the same one where the main stage got fenced in and people were not let in because it reached capacity. And I was there, I believe it was 2 nights, and I went Friday night. And Friday night was the night that no one had the balls to jump the fence. That didn't happen until Saturday. So Friday night, we sat there on the stands like a bunch of chumps for a long time. And all I wanted to do was run. All I wanted to do was run and go somewhere else and see something different. At one point, I ended up excusing myself because I was going to go buy water, and I took off. And I just left I left for a little bit just to go explore the place. And then eventually came back to a very, very angry and upset group of friends because they were worried about me.
You were having a good time.
It happens though.
Well, I was a late bloomer. I think you guys are a little more veterans at this. I haven't done EDC, but one I did actually locally that one day I think Angel will convince me to go. One locally that I thought it was pretty awesome was FYF. The way the setup was, and I went to the last one that was here too before they built that piece of shit, which probably ruined FYF, and next to the Coliseum. But yeah, that setup was dope, dude. They even had like I don't know what these designated areas are in the Coliseum, but they had like basically a fucking cage just for you to fucking party in, just to rage. I'm like, that's pretty awesome, dude. It was pretty nuts. I've been to the Made in America, which was pretty dope. I mean, I don't know how much of a festival you call that because there's two. I've also been to Euphoria, which is similar. Adult Swim Festival.
Hey, how was that?
Adult Swim?
That? Yeah.
It was small.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have no complaints. I mean, I think I went in knowing what it was gonna be, and it was just that, right?
All right.
That's the best way to put it. It was cool though. I could imagine if they put big artists, it'd be pretty chaotic.
All right.
It went
For
smooth.
sure.
It was a lot smoother than I thought it would be.
Okay.
I
All right, for sure.
expected a lot more, kind of like what he was saying, a lot more going on. The attractions, I didn't know what to expect out of the attractions when you're mixing. Well, for those that don't know, the Adult Swim Festival, they just pretty much mix up the cartoons that they have with music, and it's a lot of like props and sets, not sets, but
Okay.
for example,
All right.
they had a Rick and Morty miniature golf putt putt. It's just random,
Nice.
right? They
Yeah.
had like there was a long line for like this drawing board. I don't know if you saw that, Eddie. There was like a drawing board where you had to like try to recreate one of the characters that they like placed for you. I don't know. You know, that was it got people engaged though. So
They had a
and then
fucking
they had like
they had a like a rideable that was a hot dog. Yep.
it went a lot smoother and it was a lot better than I thought. It wasn't Adult Swim didn't try to like put it in your face like, oh, cartoons, cartoons, cartoons. It was just like, here's some music, here's some fun stuff. Go do what you
All
want. Oh, and the beer garden's in the back.
right. Shout out to beer.
Oh,
Shout out to beer.
that place, I like that place for festivals. I've been to a lot of festivals there. One of them
Where
was
is it?
actually the 747 Adidas Festival. So
Where
what
is
I
it?
really liked about at the Row in downtown LA,
Okay.
right off of Alameda and Seventh, where American Apparel is at. So they run multiple festivals. We Are Friends is there. If The Adult Swim one is there, and then the Adidas 747. This one was
Nice.
one of the most interactive ones I've been to, the 747, because it's the Adidas brand. So they had players show up like what's his name? OBJ showed up, 2 Chainz showed up,
Nice.
Snoop Dogg showed up,
Nice.
Pharrell showed up, and then they
Nice.
had this really cool thing where you went with your ticket with your wristband, and they had these
Uh-huh.
kiosks, and you scanned your kiosk, and you made an appointment to buy a certain shoe.
Oh shit!
And what would happen is you would go for your appointment, and maybe you and like 4 or 5 other people were the only ones in the showroom, and you got to try on the shoes that you wanted, which were all exclusive drops for that festival.
Wow.
And if you wanted to buy them, you bought them. You had a bunch of people just walking around with shoes. They were giving away like just pins and stickers, and that was crazy. I thought that was cool because it was a customized purchasing, like customized buying experience. You know, I of course
So
didn't get to. I didn't get to get no Yeezys that day because I didn't have a wristband. You know how I get into festivals, and that's the
Oh
one thing
man.
that I only got mad about because I couldn't register because I didn't have a wristband. You know, I didn't have a ticket.
Dang. That's funny, dude.
so dude. So basically, there's a festival for everyone: shoe lovers, fucking cartoon people, uh, EDC, beach people. Oh, the beach one's gone. But what's the one for you guys? Which is the one that you guys feel like if I'm gonna go to just one this year, this is the one I'm gonna make it out to.
Oh man, if there's anything that I'm gonna go to this year, like I said, I made that promise that I was. But seeing as how Rage is gonna be making an appearance at Coachella, I definitely want to go catch that. I got my fix last year. I went to EDC and I got my EDM fix there. Uh, Previously to that, Heather, my significant other, and I were at Life is Beautiful. I think we that was the year we went with you two. You guys were all there. And pretty much we spent the entire weekend, all 3 days. All we were doing was chasing DJs. There's all kinds of other acts there that we could go appreciate. But for the most part, man, we were just chasing DJs all weekend long. So we took it upon ourselves to say, "Fuck it, dude. We need to go hit up the mothership of all EDM festivals, and I want to go hit up EDC." So we got our EDM on, and I mean, it did not disappoint. It was amazing. It was great. Skrillex did a surprise set, which was fucking amazing. It brought all the feels back that I left there in 2013. 2013 was the last visit I had before then, and man, it brought all kinds of feelings back, and it was wonderful. It was fucking awesome. But to answer your question, oh yeah, most of that circuit grounds, that's where it's at. And then the way they do them now, dude, it's much smaller. So if you've been, so just to put it on its scale, like Coachella can take on like I think something ridiculous like 130 maybe it was like 130,000 or something like that, but EDC is quite small. In retrospect, it's actually a really small layout compared to that of Coachella. In the way that they have it set up, the stages are so close to each other. Everything is like a 5, maybe 10-minute walk from one stage to another. They're pretty close to each other. And even if you're spanning all the way across from one side to the other, it's pretty condensed. And the way that they have these stages set up, you could be right in between two stages and hardly hear one stage from another. Like if you get close enough to one, it dominates. You're there and it's bumping and you hear it. But if you start walking the other way, there's a certain line, there's a threshold that when you step over that, dude, now you're in the other room and you're bobbing to something else. And it's amazing the way that they do that with their acoustics there. It's wild. It's wild. But to answer your question, I'm sorry I went a little off the rails.
That's all good.
I want to go to Coachella. I want to go to Coachella because I want to go see Rage, and I want to see what's all the rage, and I want to be there when he tells everybody to fucking jump. I want to be part of that madness.
All right. I'll go next, I guess. Actually, Coachella as well, but me, it's more of what it's become to me. You know, it was my introduction to festivals. You know, it also I was having a shitty year last year, not to get into detail, and I even went into Coachella dragging my feet. And once I came out of there, you know, being with a bunch of positive people and stuff, it just like it changed. You know, like my whole year just flipped from that moment, dude. And that's like that, you know, resonates in my mind forever. You know, now like I was telling Angel when I was making the cover and stuff. It was, you know, it was in the fields. I started kind of feeling bummed out. I'm like, damn, it's not coming yet. You know, I have to wait till October. But I guess even now the buildups can be more, and then I'm gonna lose my shit over there. But yeah, Coachella for that reason. But for me, it's not just this year, but it's every year. Sorry, go ahead.
If I had to choose one to do this year, I would say EDC. But in reality, you guys know me, and whoever goes to festivals with me knows that if the money is right, if the vibe is right, the moment is right, I just go after any festival. I've done EDC for one night, where I literally just drive to Vegas and fly back in one day in a span of maybe 24, 30 hours. I've done Coachella the same way. I did Coachella last year. I wasn't going to Coachella. I had no plan of going to Coachella, but then Kanye announced that he was going to do his Sunday service. So I made it work. And I like doing it like that because it works out for me. For those that go to festivals with me know damn well that it always works out for me just because, and I don't even think it has to do anything with me. It's just these festivals lend themselves to just have a good time. And if you approach these festivals with that mentality where I'm just going to have a good time, regardless if I'm with my friends, regardless if I'm with myself, regardless if I'm going to drink, smoke, whatever you do, you're going to have a, but if I had to choose one, I would say EDC just because exactly what you expressed, Eddie, can happen at EDC every night. Not just, you don't need all 3 days to get that feeling. You can have that same feeling you were describing off one night at EDC just because of the people that go. The fact that what Angel was touching on, that there is no shortage of music. There is no shortage of an experience at EDC. And I've had, like, if I can mix festivals together, I would, of course. But as far as overall, just the vibes and the feels before, during, and after, it's EDC for me. It's just nonstop. And to Angel's point, this year was the first year that we're going to open up the entire campground. The entire speedway. So it was going to be bigger than Coachella. And the main stage actually holds about 90,000 people.
Damn.
So on any given night at EDC, when 90,000 people are at the main stage, you still have maybe another 50,000 in the other stages. So I think it's actually bigger than Coachella. You guys know how I feel about Coachella. I'm not big on it. The best Coachella I've been to was the one we went to for Kendrick Lamar, and that was because it just came together, just exactly how I said. It just came together with, we ended up getting a house, or actually, I didn't end up getting a house. Eddie and his group ended up getting a house, and I literally tagged on Thursday when they were leaving in a house of what, like 20 people.
Angel jumped on Saturday. That same house.
Angel ended up showing up Saturday.
That is actually that right there is actually the weekend that I became Spirit Guide and Spirit Beast. That was that weekend. Yeah, when I hooked up with you guys and we partied it up for the time that we did. It was hard keeping track of all that many people and trying to stay all together, but that's what a festival does. Like, you know, you show up to these places. I had some notes here for like do's and don'ts, but anytime that you go to a festival, anytime that you go to have fun, it's like you said, you gotta have a good mentality and you gotta have a good time. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've seen people at a festival who have been abandoned. They got lost. They got separated from their pack, you know, and because of that, um, they're letting that entire situation bum them out, and they're not allowing themselves to have a good time. And it's like, you're not lost in a fucking jungle. You're not gonna fucking die. You're not, you know, there are wolves waiting to eat you alive. Like, you're gonna be okay. You got your phone, you got your wallet, you've got all this amazing music going on, all these amazing people. All you got to do is say hi to somebody every once in a fucking while. And I guarantee you, if you see a whole group of Asians traveling in a train, all you got to do is latch onto the back of that thing and just keep on rolling with them. They won't be mad, bro. They're going to have a good time. All they want to do is get to the next stage. They're efficient as fuck, and they know where to find a good
don't
time.
get between them.
Just get your caboose on.
Join on the caboose. Join on the caboose, or ask the lead if you can come with. And eventually, when you get to the tail, you latch on and you go.
You know what's crazy?
Asians are tight. Asians are tight.
You know what's crazy? Because we brought up that Coachella and you talked about getting lost and stuff. There were so many people there that Coachella, because it wasn't just us in a house of ended up being like 15. There was other people there. Because remember, David and his crew didn't stay with us either. And then Aaron at the time, his girlfriend didn't stay with us either. So as big as that festival was, and I think it was perfect that was my first one, you'd always run into somebody like out of our whole big ass group somehow.
Yeah.
Like the moment you became spirit guide, I don't think that was planned because I wasn't that close to you. So I think you just happened to be there. Like, all right, hey, dude, here, try this.
see, for me, it's funny that. Go ahead.
That's one of the easiest things to do. Like, people sometimes get intimidated by the size of the crowd or the size of the festival. It's very, very simple. If you want one of the easiest do's and don'ts, do this. Before you go into the festival, let everybody know where you're gonna meet up at, and that's it. We're gonna meet up at this beer garden at 9:30 and at 11. If you're not there, cool. If you are, let's do it. Right. And that's exactly what happened at Coachella. For that weekend, we were all separated. You know, everybody wanted to go do their own thing before Kendrick Lamar. That was the marquee for all of us, right? To meet up for Kendrick Lamar so we can all throw it down together. You know, some people went to Zimmerman. I went to go watch Breakbot and Marshmello, and the whole point was meet at the beer garden right before Kendrick. And it worked out. We ended up rolling like 12 deep to Kendrick. That's the easiest thing. That's the easiest thing. Just whenever you go to a festival, you're going with a big group. You don't have to stick together the whole night to go catch that one artist. Just, hey, let's meet up at this beer garden. Let's meet up at this Ferris wheel at this time, and let's run it. The thing is too that I don't like going into these festivals with a lineup in mind. Like, I know who I want to watch, and I know around what time they start. And if I make it, cool. But if I catch a vibe at a stage with an artist that I've never seen before, you best believe that I'm going to stay there. you know? And if anything, I'll watch them for 20, 30 minutes and go late to the set that I want to watch 30, 40 minutes. You're not going to miss much. If you really want to watch that DJ so much or that artist so much, you're going to enjoy any moment of it, whether it's 20, 30, 40, the whole hour and a half. Like that's the biggest, those are the two biggest things that I don't like, that people want to stick so much to a schedule when you're there for the music. Discover somebody new, you know? Like for example, 2011, I had never even heard of Bloody B Roots. But my friends dragged me over there. I saw instruments being set up. Like, what the fuck? These are gonna play instruments.
Fucking
And
live
they threw
set.
down one of the best live sets that I've seen to this day.
Yes.
To this day, bro. Like,
Agreed.
you know? And it's just because I was like, fuck it. Let's vibe out, you know? Let's do it. Run it.
Hey, Angel, in the we stumbled upon that. Well, we could just go ahead and do your do's and don'ts, man, because it looks like we've already gone deep into it. So.
Oh no, it's all right. It's all right. No worries at all. No worries at all. Just one of the things that we keep touching on, right? Like we keep talking about it, and I mean we're constantly bringing it up. I have a long list of things that we want to go over, but just really simple stuff, and hopes that some people can enjoy going out to a festival and having a good time. Spenny is not the type. He's definitely not the type, but most of you should book ahead. A lot of you should book ahead.
I second that.
Get those payment plans. Get those payment plans in. You don't want to be broke by the time you get there. You don't want to drop dollar like that. Just get those payment plans in. You can always sell the damn ticket if you don't like the lineup when it comes up. Item number 2, party favors. Make sure that you get stacked up. You don't want to be left out to dry during festival season. It's the worst feeling in the world, and you're going to get raped on surcharges. You don't want to pay inflated prices on that stuff. Alcohol is obviously the most expensive and the least affected by that, but choose wisely. Alcohol will end up being the most expensive party favor.
Let me touch on alcohol real quick. This time that we camped, since we camped last time, Angel, true or not, you can never have enough alcohol, because if you camp, oh man, you guys start sharing and you begin to barter and stuff. Alcohol is like gold out there, bro. You can never have.
It really is, because a lot of people, what I come to find out, and especially in a situation like that, and it really depends. Most of the time when you're going to festivals, it's a 3 or 4 night stay. I can't speak for Spenny, obviously, because he likes to show up one day and be gone, like Houdini, the next day. But most people who buy a ticket want to be there for the 3 days. So with that ticket, you also need to have accommodations of where the fuck you're going to stay. You need to figure that out. And not always is there going to be an opportunity to stay with friends. Sometimes you're going to have to get a room. But even then, you're in a hotel full of other people that are also there to turn the fuck up. You are with a lot of people. So it is natural that you find the same people that match your vibe in and around your area. What I find crazy is that a lot of people come from another country and they don't have the resources that you do here at home. They didn't stock up the way they did because they're barely getting here. So a lot of times those people are here and they're having a sober ass time and looking for a friend to help them out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm that friend.
Case in point, our Mexican compas in the campground, we are giving alcohol the first day. All of a sudden, we're in the pool one day without asking. They see us with no beers, give us fucking blue moons. Here you go.
Here you go, guys. Here you go. It just becomes a community, right? Like immediately, once you all realize that you're there for the same reason, people start to really vibe with each other and really come together in a way that I've never seen before. Like it's the only time that I see people do that. Because in the regular life and in the regular world, motherfuckers are salty and people are just all about themselves all the time. But in the festival world, it doesn't matter what kind of festival you're going to. It's all love. And everybody's trying to do the best they can to keep the good times rolling. You know what I mean? Like, unless there are some special cases where people aren't that fun, sticks in the mud. But for the most part, everybody's there to have a good time. And like what Spenny said earlier, you can draw up a plan all you want, but a smart person should be ready to abandon that plan. Because once you catch a vibe, bro, ride that wave. Ride that wave. Stay on it. Stay on it and go for it for real. Even if you fucking wipe out, who cares? Go for it.
True, man. And Angel and I have been guilty of, I guess, baiting somebody into this. The only time that Angel and I actually throw down together was at Life is Beautiful. And Angel and I and his girlfriend were just vibing out, just in our own way. We were together, but individually, all three of us were having a completely different experience at the same stage for the same artist at the same time. And just because of how Angel and I were enjoying ourselves, we had people around us just start coming dancing in between us, start chatting it up, start, like it just happened so organically and so naturally that some people aren't used to that and they run away from that because they're strangers. And
Yep.
that's exactly what you should run towards, man. We
Run
ended
towards.
up I like that example in particular when we were watching Party Favor, because it was this lesbian couple, where one of the girls was all, social fucking butterfly, flying her wings, and her
Yep.
girlfriend was just like, nah, until she came with us. Until she came with us, and Angel and I both like noticed that moment where she was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna go for it. And she just started going out. She didn't know how to dance. She didn't know what she was doing, but there was no judgment. It was just like,
Nah.
hell yeah. Like Angel and I automatically just felt her vibe because you could tell that she just let go. Like she like literally something in her mind was just like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna just go for it. And she went for it. And it was the best thing ever. Like that's one of the best things that you can experience at a festival, whether it happens to you, where it finally clicks, where you're gonna just let loose, or when you actually give that vibe to somebody else that they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna let loose. Like that's the reason I go to festivals. That's exactly why I go to festivals, because these vibes you can't recreate. If you don't lend yourself to them, you can't recreate them. You can't get that feeling unless you really just like say fuck it. Let me do this. Let me spaz out. Let me fucking whatever your dance is, just do it like nobody's watching, bro. That's the best part, dude. That's the best part. Love that. That's the
Yeah,
biggest do, I guess.
that was a fond moment. I'll never forget that because she was the strong silent type. I'll say that.
Yeah.
The particular woman that he's talking about, she was a strong silent type, and she was sitting there with her arms crossed, kind of mad dogging the world, just trying to keep it together and stay composed. And I think and I were just acting a fool. I mean, we were just being straight foolish. There's no other way about it. We were screaming at people. We were questioning them. Why the fuck are you here? Let's go. I mean, we were getting
Are
in
you
people's
ready? Are you?
grills. Oh, you ain't ready? Oh, you not ready? I mean, we were just, oh, y'all just came to sleep? Okay. We were being dicks. And as soon as she started moving and moving around, dude, he and I didn't waste a minute. We got on each side of her, and not like, don't get me wrong, wasn't we weren't creepily like freaking on her. No, no,
Not
no,
at
no,
the
no. We
Roxbury.
just no, no, no. We just got on each side of her. We're like, okay, 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 here we go. And dude, it was just to see her kind of chuckle and let go and just be funny. Like it was dope. And at the end of the whole set, we high fived, everybody hugged it out, and we went off. Like, and that probably put her in a better mood. They're gonna go to
Yes.
another stage and they're gonna have a better time doing what they're doing. And it's like that's what it's all about for me. Yeah.
Hey, you
It's
know
just
what I
being
just
different, bro.
you know what I just realized? I'm
What's up?
not meant to ever see Party Favor. Yeah, because
Uh,
that day I went to watch Blood Orange.
uh,
Oh, it's your fault.
Juanito.
You know what also helped? You know what also helped that day in particular, Angel? Right. You know what helped? I think that well,
what?
I had that Hennessy bottle in the festival.
So I have to give it to this man. I have no idea how the hell he does it. Like the guy just
Featuring.
yeah. I mean, you must have an enormous anus. Like it just has to be just just loose and inviting. You must have that periscope type, that just extends. But fuck, dude, this guy has an incredible knack for getting hard liquor bottles into festivals. No idea how he does it. I've watched him do it, and I still have no idea how he does it. But he does it all the time. And
It's just like
I'm I'll never be the type to try it. I just have never been that type. I'll tell the story about my first Coachella later, but I've never been that type because I always get shut down. And the example that I can give about that too is for Life is Beautiful, the one festival that we went to. There was a gentleman that we went to who shall remain nameless. I'm not gonna burn him like that, but he came with Kid. He came with Kid, and Kid was getting in. Kid didn't have a wristband or a ticket. Kid didn't have a wristband or a ticket, but Kid managed to find his way in, and he made it pretty fucking easy. Like
through the front door.
Through the front. I mean, just right past security, no problem. There was no issue there. And then another friend of ours that we had that day did not, because he made it very obvious that he was trying to get in there, and he got shut down and turned around real quick. But it's just crazy because it's those things that you said. Maybe it's not just you. Maybe it's your outlook and the way that you carry yourself as to why you're able to do those kind of things. And that's a credit to you, for how you do and how you live and how you go. Because even if you had gotten shut down, for some reason, somebody would have turned your ass around and told you to get the fuck out, you'd have found a way to make that night worth living. You weren't going to be salty about the fact that you didn't get in there. You wouldn't have been mad if someone else made it inside and not you. You'd have just went to go find something for you to do. And that's I mean that's a good festival goer right there. You're looking for the positives. There's no time to get negative. You stay in the positive, stay in the solution all the time. Stay partying, bro. Keep that vibe up. Period.
And when Eddie told me the topic for today, I tried to really think hard about VIPs that I snuck into at festivals, and I came up with a number of 12.
Nice.
So it's like one festival per year that I completely sneak into, and you best believe that there's been multiple per year. So at least one night, or sneak into the VIP, or sneak into something to these festivals, and I came up with 12, and that's thinking about like maybe the last 5 or 6. That's cool. I already got the experience, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. And not even that. I don't even share like on Instagram or on Twitter a lot of these festivals that I go to. Like if you really go through my pages, you might see a few things here and there that are throwbacks, but you'll never know that I'm there. You'll never know that I'm there that weekend unless you and I are trying to link up, or you need something or I need something, and that's how I like to keep it. Nice and breezy, man. No plans, no distractions. I'm there for the music.
But also, let's not be coy. We're there for the music, but the party favors make the party go round. Let's be real. All right? So what I will say to everybody, any first-time festival goers, please moderate. Moderate. Don't be that guy. The worst thing in the world is to have your friends count. No one wants to fucking carry you. I don't care how cute you are. B, that was for you, bro. I don't give a fuck how cute you are. No one wants to carry you. No one wants to do that bullshit with you. Make sure that you moderate. Don't go balls to the walls like that. That shit's gross. You're sloppy. Nobody wants to see that shit. I've seen too many people just holding on to the pits of their stomach, curled up in a ball, in some random corner, just laying in piss and vomit. Terrible. Ugh. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Folks, make sure that you bring plenty of water. Make sure that you have a healthy meal when you come down the following day. Make sure you start with a hearty breakfast. Eat some fucking fruit. Buy a goddamn smoothie. It'll be clutch. Absolutely fucking necessary.
It doesn't sound like it. It is.
It makes a fucking difference to your goddamn day. Let me tell you. When you've got real nutrients flowing through your fucking system, instead of going and grabbing some fucking junk in the box before we go in again. Don't do that shit to yourself. You're gonna end up with the shits. And that's another thing. When you're in those restrooms, fucking respect them. Jesus fucking Christ. People don't know how to fucking respect a goddamn bathroom. You know what I carry in my backpack at all times? Disinfectant wipes, hand sanitizer, and actual baby wipes. And I do that so that I can clean the fuck out of that toilet because I already know what it's going to look like when I go in there. And I do it so that I can offer the person that goes in there behind me a disinfectant wipe, a wipey, and some hand sanitizer. I just do it everywhere that I go. And the person on the other side that is receiving those things from me as I'm walking out is always 100% thankful. Each and every one of them. I have only ever run into top maybe 3 people that have ever had their own on hand that was like, it's cool, bro. I got my own. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. So festival goers, please prepare. Don't be that skank. Don't be gross. Make sure we take care of those restrooms. Don't explode all over the fucking bowl.
One thing you mentioned that gets overlooked a lot is eating properly. You do all the turn up you want and really do it on 2 meals. And that even that is a little bit extreme. But if you, like, for example, for EDC, no matter what EDC I go to, no matter if I'm there 1, 2, 3, or 4 days because it's day 0, I always have a big breakfast. No matter what, I fill myself up as much as I can during breakfast, skip lunch or, some time in the festival, and then just eat towards the end of the festival when you're going to another stage. Try to get a fruit or try to get like a good little meal. It might cost you $18-20 in the festival, but it'd be worth it for the last push, especially at a festival like EDC. Especially at EDC, though, I like to eat a lot of fruit during the festival because it's easy to just have a hand. If you get like strawberries or watermelon, especially like watermelon, it gives you water. You don't have to use your water jug or your Camelback, and you just going from one stage to the other one, and that's all you need. Stay away from like greasy ass food. Like, you don't need that. Like, the perfect thing that works for me, at least that works for me, is I like to make peanut butter and jelly waffles with a bunch of syrup on top. That right there, sometimes I can't go to sleep for another like 30-40 minutes just because I'm all a little wired up from the jelly and shit. But that shit will get you through good 8-9 hours before you have another meal. Just telling you, this is proven, patent. I've done it year after year after year. And you guys see that the first thing that I wanted to do when I got to that Coachella house was go get food so I can make breakfast. And I made sure each and every one of those days that all you guys had was a big fat breakfast, because after that, if you guys didn't eat till the time we got to Coachella, you guys were still going to be good. No hangovers, nothing like that.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in those like they're like hydro packs. They're like hydration powder. Those things are plush. Yeah, those liquid. Exactly.
I do exactly. Vitamin C, man. That hydration vitamin C though.
Oh no, boy, these are those kidneys wasn't there for the last time. Those are game changers. That's the first time at least you brought them around me. Those liquid IQs or IV. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Like for real. Like because they just the funny thing about them is the way that we use them, right? We're supposed to put those things in there, and like this small little powder is supposed to hydrate you in the same way as if you were taking what is it in 24? Wait, I want to get this right. In 16 ounces of water, In 16 ounces of water, it gives you the hydration that you would get from 48 ounces of water. So it's like you're drinking 3 times the amount of water that you normally do. And it keeps you hydrated for that much longer. And they're fucking dope. The thing that you do is, and what we found out is that when you drink those things, you cut them with liquor. And then you're doing 2 things at the same time. You're getting yourself fucked up and you're hydrating at the same time.
Dude, we gave some to like neighbors and stuff. Especially the Mexican dudes. I remember one of them was hurting like really bad because it was his first. Gave it to him the second day, and then Sunday morning came and he's like, "What's up?
Hey, let me get one of those things, dude." We're like, "Yeah, for sure." Yeah,
see, that's the one thing. I do like to sneak in bottles and do all that, but rarely will you see me finish a bottle at a festival because I actually don't like to drink. Once I'm in the festival and once I'm, on my Tina Turner, like I like to just ride, I think that's a big thing that people mess up on. They're so hyped before the festival that they drink so much before just because you don't want to pay those prices inside, and that's the biggest fuck ups that I've seen. I've seen people like at the entrance throwing up and passed out already. Like you're not even giving yourself a chance to experience what you've been waiting for, what you got drunk for, just because you didn't want to pay for alcohol inside. I'm not saying sneak in your own shit. I'm just saying don't go with the mindset to get drunk at these things. This is not a party. This is a festival. You're supposed to see it to the end. You're supposed to see the last act. You're supposed to want to finish. Yeah, it's a marathon. I don't think I've ever been guilty of overdoing it. And I can honestly say I've never been guilty of doing it, like even during the festival when I had bottles. But that's one thing that I've seen a lot of people around us do, where they just, we had one buddy of ours, which will remain nameless. How I can drop his name. You guys should know already. I took him to his first EDM festival. I think it was Hard Summer, and this guy, he was telling me that he was gonna try to sneak in the bottle. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went in the most basic shorts possible, in the most like just basic ass outfit that I could not sneak in alcohol with, and this fool got caught. This fool got caught at the entrance, and instead of going to another entrance like I had advised him to, this fool was like, all right, fuck it, and he downed half of the bottle of Bucanas before going into the festival. 20 minutes in, this was passed out flat on his face on the floor, and me and my 2 other buddies had to carry him for the next 8 hours from stage to stage to stage to stage, just because he didn't want to lose that $22 bottle. He didn't want to listen to instructions.
I find it hilarious because while you stepped out, you had stepped up to do something. I had said, I don't give a shit how cute you are. Nobody wants to fucking carry you. I just said that.
I carried him.
Don't overdo it. No one wants to see that. No one wants to be that person.
He's not saying we won't. We're friends, but he says you don't want to.
No, of course. No one wants to fucking do that. No one wants to do that. No one wants to be assigned the task of taking care of somebody.
I don't think
do it. No doubt we're gonna do it.
I don't think you said it directly, Angel, but a major don't is, I mean, I'm not a veteran at these festivals, but I consider Angel one. And so when it comes to drinking and doing party favors, you got to be smart. No, but I've my most recent experiences have been with Angel when it comes to these particular things. You know what I mean? Hence why somebody else was carried out in Vegas and not me is what I had learned.
True. So I'll say this. One of the reasons that I'm able, so I've had a lot of experiences, and I've had a lot of I don't know, I'll say gray areas when I've partied, and none has ever been as bad as one time I was at, I think it was called the Sky Lounge. I was at the Sky Lounge in LA, and it was like this like sushi place type, And then once they shut it down, once the sushi place was over, then you move over and it was like a nightclub. And like they had like the windows open and shit. So it's like a high rise thing, you know, like it's LA, right? Like it's pretty baller. It was a pretty baller event, I'm not gonna lie. It was dope. And you know, I'm sitting there, I'm partying and I'm drinking and you know, I'm just acting a fucking fool. I'm like 23, 24, like I'm a baby and I'm just wilding the fuck out. I'm with this crew that I had just started kicking it with, and all of us are just, you know, we went all in on this friendship that, by the way, crashed and burned really fast. But in any case, that particular night, I mean, man, we were doing it. We were just having a good old time. And you know, as part of that friendship, you know, sometimes you open up to people. Sometimes you know, you want to just, you know, pour your heart out a little bit. And even though you're in the middle of partying, every once in a while you'll slip and you'll be like, man, I just want to tell you that I love you and that you're like amazing. I'm so glad that you're my friend, right? Like everybody's got that like moment. And for me, it happened that evening. And I started telling people stuff, and you know, and then I took a good look around at the table that I was sitting at. I was sitting at a table, you know, like we had gotten a little booth, you know, like it's a club, but we had gotten table service. So I'm like at the little table, whatever. And like I'm telling all these people all my feelings and shit like that. And I look up and I shit you not, I didn't recognize one motherfucker at that whole table. And all of them are staring at me like I'm a stranger, which I was. And I looked up at all of them and I said, hey, you guys are my friends. Bye, bye. And I got up and left. I just pieced the fuck out. I left that situation. But it's because I did a lot of party favors and I did a lot of drinking. And you shouldn't do that stuff. Don't do it. Make sure that you choose one or the other. If you start the other, stop one of them. You can't do both. You just can't. I don't know who can.
Transition.
I don't know who can.
Transition.
But
Start
that's
with
exactly
the drinking, and then once you just worry about water.
Well,
Once you know, just worry about water.
the way I
Before
kind of
that,
saw
it
it,
doesn't matter.
the way I kind of saw it last time was I got my buzz off like light beer, and you know, before the episode, not fucked up, but we'd get our buzz on, and we went to the festival, and you know, it burnt that out. I'm referring to Coachella, which is already hot. So once you burn that out, there's your transition right there. That's I
Mhm.
mean that's become my strategy basically. Light beer is key for
I
me.
stay away from beer, man. I just when I'm in those festivals, I like liquor. You know, every once in a while, even when I'm already Tina Turner, I might sneak in a little cranberry and vodka in there just to like get me a little more legs to go to the next stage. You know, because I just this that usually happens when I went hard at one and I just need a break, but I don't want to take one because I already know what's going on at the next stage I'm going to. So you know, get a night real quick, get your cranberry vodka, usually $13. I never paid more than like 13, 14. Let me tell you, that
You guys,
shit gets you right back up to your levels to where
your
you don't need another one
your
for a minute.
your blood red $13 fucking cranberry drop of vodka.
It works out, man.
You
You
guys
gotta
got
you
any
gotta know you gotta know. See, that's another thing too. Like one thing I'd advise people to do is scout who you're gonna buy stuff from. Like
yeah.
don't go to the shortest line with the hard ass at the end of it that's gonna be like, oh, that's one shot and that's it. Go with the guy that's having fun. Go with the guy that has the purgers on. Go with the girl that has the face paint because she's gonna be like, oh, that's your one plus the bottle.
You
You
know what?
know? And
You
then
know who
just
it usually is. There's like an older person, you know, having fun. Like you know, they've had a good life. You know, they're still enjoying life. So, you know, serving alcohol at a festival, and they're older, and they're the ones that have the heavier hands. Like, oh yeah, cool. I love this fucking music. You know, and they're just having a fucking blast. I don't know. That's the ones I always see that have the heaviest
So
hands.
so returning from I believe it was I want to say EDC. EDC one night we got back on the bus and returning there was raver moms. there were raver moms waiting for you at the shuttle stop when you got back from the festival. And they had a big sign that said, if you need a hug, we're here for you. And they were giving out candy, like not actual candy, but you know what I mean? Like wrist candy. They were giving stuff out that said Raver Moms, you know what I mean? Like, we love you. And it was just the coolest thing. I think one of the moms, not to give you guys, a sad story, but one of the moms I think had lost one of their kids, and one of their favorite things to do was go to festivals. And so now that was one of the things that they were doing to kind of help them feel better about that whole situation, and to make people feel dope, because you're coming back from a long ass day, bro. You're talking about, I just put in 12 hours of partying. Like, fuck, that shit is exhausting. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck how fit you are. That shit is exhausting. And when you're coming back dragging your feet, true. That's very true. You're right about that. But yeah, man, coming back, just trying to, move it along, and to see someone doing that and giving out hugs, and being personable in that way, and being a little bit of light, that's awesome. So always high five the people that you run into at festivals, and they'll tell you, man, the festival people, the people that work those grounds, they'll tell you, festival folk are the best folk. Like, especially in the EDM culture, especially in the EDM culture. I cannot speak on other genres of music, but I can't imagine that anybody treats the festival workers better than the EDM crowd. No one does. That's a fact.
That.
No one does. No one does. No one does.
I believe that.
That's the underbelly of it too. Like something you will never experience at a Coachella or at an Ultra or an Made in America, where you're literally just walking to it or dancing to the next stage. Because I do that sometimes. I'm not even like walking to the next stage. Sometimes I'm just dancing to the next stage, and you see somebody, whether it's male, female, whether they're 6'3", 5'2", whether they're 500 pounds, 120 pounds, but you see them with a sign or with a shirt that says free hug. You point at them, you tell them, get your ass over here. You get that embrace, and you move on. Like, those are the small little things that you can't experience at other festivals if it's not an EDM festival.
I selfishly, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to be honest with you and open, EDC 2010, when I went, I got a shirt made that said free hugs. I showed up to my first festival with a shirt that says free hugs. It was white with pink letters, and it said free hugs. What I anticipated was to get a whole lot of hugs from like bitches, but that clearly did not happen. And I was getting hugs from fucking everybody. Did I shy away from any of those hugs? Fuck yes. But I did learn that I shouldn't do that. And it was awesome because it actually made me a much better person. Throughout the night, I eventually fucking gave in to everything, and I was hugging the fucking world. I loved it. It was a good time. And I was that guy. And then it made me a much better person. It made me a much better person.
Nice. All right, guys. Hey, we're running a little long, fellas. So let's bring it home. I'm ask you guys a couple questions. You guys can, whoever wants to start it off, and with whichever question want to answer first, go for it. Best experience at a festival and best performance.
Ooh.
I'll go first since I guess I already had it in my mind. So for me, best experience, I'll go first. Was Life is Beautiful. Life is Beautiful because ever since the first time we went to Coachella, maybe it was like, chasing that purple dragon, like, that feeling again of having like a big house and that big group. And Life is Beautiful was that and some, because now I was experienced enough to go on my own ish. I was in a big house again. There was a bunch of people. Angel didn't stay with us. Aaron didn't stay with us again. And oh yeah, well, you ended up staying with us, kidneys. But and the way that Life is Beautiful was set up, it was a new whole fucking setup. And then I had that magical moment that I'll never forget when we all saw, or I don't know if you were there, Angel, when we all saw fucking Arcade Fire together. That was something I would never forget. Yeah. I know like one or two Arcade Fire songs. Maybe never ever really went back to listen to it, but that fucking Arcade Fire moment was best experience for me.
For sure. All right. Cool.
And as far as performance, I'll make it easy. I know why they call her Queen Bee now. Fuck all y'all. It's Beyonce. They've never made another. No one else has ever gotten a Netflix special off of performance.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Skrillex actually did.
It's a joke, fool.
I can't really pinpoint exactly one of each. I will say that three of them. See. Okay, I'll say this. I have a very special and a very unique experience that I will never forget for EDC, Coachella, and Life is Beautiful. For EDC, it was 2011, just because of the group that I went with, the fact that I didn't know and looking back, the ones that I enjoyed the most, I enjoyed them for a reason, because even now today they're still top headliners. And just the fact that that was my first like big festival where I was like really fully into it, where I went all 3 days, the embrace that I got from even strangers was ridiculous. And that's why I got hooked. Coachella, the first Coachella I went to, because of the house, strictly because of you guys, because it wasn't so much like let's get drunk all day, but it was like let's just have a good time all day. It wasn't about being at the festival, it was just being in that house with everybody, and how everybody just came together and how it just worked out. Everybody brought their own the little salt to put in there, and it just worked. Whatever happened that weekend just worked. And it's something that you cannot. Same people, you have the same house, the same festival. You cannot recreate what happened that weekend. And the last one, for the same reason, is Life is Beautiful, the first one we went to, because I was supposed to only go one day, and I ended up going up all 3 days, and everything just kept lining up. I wasn't, on day 2, I wasn't tripping anymore. I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go home. But then, I hit a jackpot. I hit a jackpot. I hit a couple numbers. I sold my tickets. I snuck in, got a bottle, met some people, and it just kept rolling like that. It just kept rolling like that, to where, again, just being myself, being with you guys, being ourselves, it just created a vibe within our group and around us, which culminated with Arcade Fire, an artist that I never would have thought to go see, really, that I was actually going to skip until I noticed how many of us were going to go. And I was like, fuck it. I gotta do this with them, for them. And I took it upon myself to make sure that everybody was good. I don't think Angel was there. I don't think none of you guys noticed that was in the group, but I was the one, making sure everybody got their shots in, making sure everybody had their, their inhaler, their little, their vapor rub. No, you need another one, my boy. Come here. Get some water. I went to go fill up. I literally went to go fill up three water bottles, because I don't carry Camelbacks, and I made sure everybody had their water who needed it. Everybody had their drink that was drinking, and then it was just perfect for me. As far as performances, I'm not gonna put it on no one. It's just because there's been so many good performances, and artists are unique in their own way. But to be the fan that I am, I have to mention Kanye West at the FYF 2015. He wasn't supposed to perform. Frank Ocean dropped out, and he picked up the slot that same day, and he did a full set with no rants. So if you ever seen Kanye West live, or if you've seen news about his performances, he usually goes off on a rant. No rants. And the one thing that he did that I have never seen another artist do, for the last 15 minutes, he dropped 1 hit per minute, just so he can put out as much of his music out as possible that day. And for a Kanye fan, for any fan of any artist that you are, for them to be like, fuck the status quo, fuck how you're supposed to structure a performance, I'm going to do 1 hit per minute so you guys won't shut the fuck up and stop dancing. Like, that's literally what he wanted. He just wanted everybody to turn up for the last 15 minutes. because they didn't want to extend his time so he can do a full set. So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to give you guys the next 15 minutes nonstop, but I want to see you guys turn up. And that's exactly what happened.
So if I had to and really summarize all my experiences and have to choose, I would say that one of the best experiences that I had was the first EDC that I went to. All new, and everything was different. Did I have the best time while I was there? Did I have the ultimate experience? Nah, I didn't. But it was new enough to where it kept me hungry, and I wanted more. So then came 2011, and in 2011, I had the absolute best time in 2011. I got to catch, a lot of artists that blew up, eventually blew up, but I caught them when they were still, small fish, a big fish in a small pond, and one of the fondest memories that I have from that 2011 EDC is Showtech did a set at fucking 5:30 in the morning, and I don't about me, but I like to shuffle. That's like my thing, and I love it. Like once I understood the mechanics of it, like for me, that's like my thing. So for hard style, bro, like I love going wild to that stuff, and I can vividly remember Heather and myself being out there and being in a fucking patch of dirt at that point, and just kicking up all kinds of dust to Showtech, and it was one of the dopest vibes. It was one of the dopest vibes ever. It's actually I'm pretty sure it was the last day actually for Showtech, because that was well, from what I remember, it was one of the only days that we waited until the sun came up, because we didn't really wait for the sun to come up any other day. But that day we did, because we were having such a good time there. And that was definitely probably one of the best experiences and then also, like, I got to give it back to Coachella. Coachella was awesome. That's home turf right there. And my first Coachella was an experience as well, because Kenny, I'm sorry, Spenny always talks about, how he manages to find his way inside the gates. And that's definitely one of the ones that I managed to find myself inside the gates. And I'm not going to say how, because I think it's way too crazy. It's way too crazy.
I'll never give my secrets.
But dude, to be in there, to have gotten myself in there, and to have taken a chance that I normally don't do. Like I said, I'm just not that type. I took a shot and I went in there, and there was a lot of people that we were with. And that day, of all days, of all 3 days, I went on a Sunday, and man, there had been 20, 25 people in this group that consistently got in on Friday, got in on Saturday, and then that Sunday got in May before, and the rest got caught up. And for me to have been part of that group that got in and got away with it, I mean, whoa, it's wild. It's wild. But anyway, yeah, that was the Coachella that I got to witness the Tupac Shakur hologram. So that right there was a clutch ass performance. We actually weren't even gonna go there. My cousin and I had decided to go hang out, and we were watching, I think we were watching some kind of DJ at Sahara Tent, and we were vibing with the DJ, so we stayed. We were staying. And I asked him many times, I was like, you want to go? He's like, nah, dude, I'm chilling. I was like, all right, cool. So we stayed. And we were just, dancing. And at some point, the dude just kind of comes over to me, and he's like, bro, we got to go. And I was like, why? He's like, for Compton. And I'm like, for Compton, bro, let's go. My cousin's from CPT, and I mean, I can't imagine that he would have had it any other way. And the amount of regret that he would have lived with if he had not gone to see Dre, Snoop, and Tupac. Yeah, so that was another experience that I had that's best for me. So that pretty much sums it up.
So no performance, just all that together.
I can't give it. If I have to give it to a performer, I'm gonna have to give it to the person that has remained the most consistent throughout all my festival going, and I'm gonna give that to Skrillex. Skrillex Hard Summer, EDC 2011, Coachella. I caught him. I think it was 2015 where he did a surprise set. Then I also caught him at this last EDC 2019. That man is a beautiful man, and the funny thing is that I've been a fan of that guy for many years. Like and to catch him each and every time and watch how he evolves, it's incredible. So if I have to give it to anybody in my EDM life or just in my festival life, it's Skrills, bro, all the way.
All right. So that's pretty much gonna do it. Thank you for everyone that stuck with us in the live feed. Sorry I didn't get to shout you guys earlier. Jay Wolvie and Tusk shooting comments and whoever else is in there. So don't be bummed out. Coachella will come around. I mean, for those looking forward to Coachella, there'll be other festivals as well, of course. For now, stay your ass at home.
Stay your bitch ass home.
I gotta say two things.
Go ahead.
No matter what festival you want to go to, no matter what festival you've been to, no matter what festival you're going to, don't ever try to recreate what happened at another festival. Just go into whatever performance, whatever concert, whatever festival you go into with the mindset that I'm going to have fun at this festival. And remember that it's a marathon. It's not who gets there drunkest. It's not who gets drunkest the fastest. Make sure that you see the last act of the night, or whenever you're ready to go, make sure you leave from a stage. You know, even if you're dead ass tired, just sit by a stage. Let the music hit you. Don't run away for the reason that you're there. Don't run away from the music. Don't run away for the experience. Just don't try to recreate what you've done. Just learn from it. If you can, have those little pockets where you can recreate moments or create something like it. But don't go into a festival trying to recreate one from the past, and always attack the festival that you're at as a marathon, where you're going to let the music dictate what you do. Don't try to dictate the night yourself. Just go with the vibe. That's what you're there for. And if you're not there for the music, you're not going to have fun. You're not. It's impossible to have fun if you're not there for the music. Let yourself go. No one's going to care. No one's going to look at you and be like, look at this fool dancing like an idiot. They're going to dancing like a fucking spaz. Let's go fucking vibe out with this fool. I guarantee it. Most of the time, it'll happen like that.
Yeah. Act a fool. Go ahead.
In other words, te vale verga, right?
A huevo.
Kidneys, thank you so much for being our guest here on episode 2.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, man. Of course, we'll have you back eventually. You already know me and Spenny are Kidneys are co-host in News Across the Galaxy, so you will see him here again. Just follow our socials. We are on Instagram. I use my personal Twitter. You can follow me at Eddie Nags if you'd like to know when we're going to go back on. And if you have any topics you want us to talk about, shoot us a DM and we'll make sure to touch on it.
Slide in the DM.
And thank you again, everyone, for watching. If you're listening to later on these streaming services, thank you too. And again, stay your ass at home. We're gonna make it out of this, and we're gonna make it out to Coachella in October.
Yeah.
I think even out.